One of the biggest challenge is really getting the right information and complete information to plan. And to plan what to move to cloud, when to move to cloud, and how to sequence the move to the cloud. Actually, I've moved twice. So typically, for the challenge is quite similar. We have systems that are running for 10, 15, or even more years. So the information about the system is fairly lacking, and there are constraints that we may not know. So when we plan to move to cloud, the first thing we move is usually the infrastructure. So we move servers to cloud. So for that, there are constraints like IP addresses we can't change. Some servers need to move together. So a lot of these details, if we don't plan it, when we move, we'll get surprises. A common problems or challenge is IP addresses, whether it's coded in numbers or coded as a host name. And some applications, when they were built long ago, programmers may have hard-coded the IP addresses. So when you move to a cloud, sometimes you need to change IP addresses. But when you change the IP address, you have to go back to the source code and make changes. If you do not know where to find it, that's where the migration may fail. So we have learned, in fact, we have encountered a few cases. When we do our trial move, we change our IP addresses, then we discover that some other things doesn't work. So we have to roll back and figure out. You need to be brave, because there is definitely unknowns, especially depending on how old your company is, right? I mean, if you are like 15 years ago, there are some programming practices, like hard coding of IP addresses, quite common. So just be brave, because there will be things that doesn't work, but also plan for the worst. I think if you're brave and you plan for the worst, I think the migration over time will be successful.
What is the worst thing that can happen?
So the worst thing is when you move, it doesn't work. And if you don't plan for a rollback, if you don't have a plan B, then you're stuck. That is the worst situation to be in. We realized that that piece of servers tied to many storage equipments. So, and then the storage equipment is tied to other servers. So what was surprising is we thought to move a small application, a handful, but we turned out that we have to move the set of 10, 20 applications at the same time because of all these dependencies. So fortunately, we did a trial. We discovered that link, and that's what I meant by, you have to try first before you do it. Right. Once you move to the cloud, you use it. That's adoption. Right. So from an adoption perspective, typically, like say, you go back to the original intent, right, is with the intent to lower cost of operation. But I think when you adopt to cloud, depending on which cloud, sometimes there are new costs that may surprise you. So my own personal experience is this: the initial move, when we run it for the initial few months, we can't realize that we are spending more than what we should. The primary reason is because we have not optimized the costs. The good thing about cloud is that you can kind of make adjustment. So if you find that you don't need so much, you can lower down. So I think once you move to the cloud, it's important to watch that, because the cost is really like utility cost, right? If you don't watch it, it just grows.